Hey guys, Stephen here, Fanatic Perspective. Dallas Cowboys take a L tonight to the Arizona Cardinals in the Week 3 preseason game, 24-3. Very interesting game. Dress rehearsal in a lot of ways for both teams. Just want to give my thoughts in regards to the Cowboys as usual. Um, I'll start with the good. Defensively, they are flying around. That has been a constant throughout the preseason now in all three games. Randy Gregory looks outstanding. DeMarcus Lawrence looks outstanding. I like seeing Tyron Crawford at the three technique, making plays, tackles for loss. All that stuff is outstanding. Actually, all three levels. Jalen Smith and the linebacking core. I like what I see from Damian Wilson. JT Thomas has been a great find for us in the preseason. But if we can get any of that productivity in, just seems just playing fast. All those guys playing fast. And then Cheeto's looking like a star. Cheeto looks like one of the better corners we're gonna have in a while on the outside. We're really excited about his speedy development. To be honest with you, haven't heard too much from Byron's side, which is a good thing. And guys, as Collinsworth pointed out today, playing a lot of man coverage, just pressing up on guys, being very aggressive. Everything is so aggressive, and that's the mentality that Chris Richard has brought to this defense, coupled with Rod Marinelli's expertise in the front seven. So really excited for this group. They're very, a lot of talk in the national media has been about the Cowboys needing to get a safety or go after Earl Thomas and whatnot. But just with the guys we have right now, as fans, we can only speak and assess on those things. You have to be impressed with this group. That starting unit, they didn't give up any touchdowns. All the stuff was special teams and offensive related, but defensively, this first unit and some of the guys even in the second unit that I saw playing in the secondary, very aggressive, making plays on the ball, blitzing more. Just even just the mentality of the coaching staff is much better. So. Really, really like what I'm seeing in that regard. Moving on to the offense, there were a couple positives. I did like the blocking. I know Leal played and Connor Williams. I think Connor Williams had a little bit better game than he's had his first 2 weeks. He definitely struggled with Geno Atkins and Billings. Really with a strength issue there. But to me, he played a lot better today. Leo Collins played a lot better today. Joe Looney played well, which is big because he's going to start at center. And really, we look like ourselves running the football, even though we had a lot of guys in there backing up, Fleming and even Chaz Green in there. So running the football, I liked it. Loved what I saw from Cole Beasley, his separation, route running. He looks like he's ready for a big season. Just so you could just tell there's certain guys around the league. I made my fantasy videos about just having an eye and keeping a pulse on things. Cole Beasley's ready to ball this year. I can tell, just aggressively. Every time he's running a route with the purpose of I'm getting the football on the play. I'm the number one guy. And he's not the only one. Michael Gallup flat out beat Patrick Peterson in man coverage on a deep post. Obviously we weren't able to make a play because of a poor throw, in my opinion. But I even like what I see from him getting some separation and just this wide receiving core. I think they've heard, they've been hearing the noise about not having weapons and whatnot, and I think they're ready to answer the bell just with a diverse skill set, diverse group. Now, the critique. I'm going to be very direct here, and I've been I said in my last video that I made regarding the week 1 breakdown of the preseason about how I felt we did not have a backup quarterback on this roster. I've said that even going back to last season, if you really pay attention to my content. Being even more direct, Cooper Rush is not an NFL caliber quarterback right now. And one of the reasons why I felt this way, and you saw it play out tonight, I pointed out that we hadn't really seen him play against first team NFL defenders. All the stats and him being all world in the preseason and people and this whole nonsense about him pushing Dak and all this type of stuff. That all came from him lighting up second and third string guys. And tonight was really his big test because Dak Prescott not playing in this dress rehearsal, us getting the opportunity to see Cooper Rush against live bullets, against a Patrick Peterson, a Budda Baker, Deion Buchanan, a lot of guys out there for the Cardinals playing multiple quarters. He did terrible. Bottom line, not ready to play. And it's not even, it's just ability too. I mean, and one of the issues I've had with this team and in my criticism of the Cowboys is they've tried to take a shortcut with the backup quarterback situation as if it hasn't bitten us in the ass before. I mean, we can go back as recently as the 2015 season, not having adequate backup play. We can go back even before. I remember when we had Brad Johnson, we had to go out and get John Kitna just to finish the season. Like, the backup quarterback thing has been a real thing for us. And this notion that Dak Prescott is so durable that he'll never get injured and that's not the case for anybody. This is the NFL. And you're only looking at his body. Last year, he hurt I think it was his throwing hand where he got the bruise. Like, you can break a finger and be out for 6 weeks. Like, you have to have, and my other point about this, and the thing I've also tried to drive home, is I want veterans in my quarterback room, especially when we have a new quarterback coach in Kellen Moore. You have one rookie quarterback that you drafted, one second-year guy that's undrafted, and a third-year guy that was a fourth-round pick, led by a seventh-round first-year quarterback coach. That's your quarterback room. That's your quarterback brain trust, and along with Jason Garrett, the head coach. That's not good enough. And I've said that before. One of the reasons that Dak Prescott, we don't hear this enough, that he was so successful in the 2016 season was having Tony Romo and Mark Sanchez in that room, along with a Kellen Moore, along with a Jason Garrett. That is, and Scott Linehan. That's a larger brain trust and pool of resources to pull from for developing quarterback than what he has now. Dak, yes, he is the leader of the team, but in terms of when he's going to the sideline, what input is he getting from Cooper Rush? You saw the throw the ball he tried to fit in there in the end zone where Budda Baker picked it off. The pick six that he threw to Patrick Peterson, that's just lack of ability. He throws the ball inaccurately inside. I think he was trying to hit Tavon Austin, and he doesn't have the ability to really drive the ball outside. And I've noticed this even when he was completing passes early in the preseason against some of these bums. He was throwing ducks, and when you throw balls like that against first team guys, they're sitting on those. That was one of the easiest pick sixes Patrick Peterson's ever had. Could you imagine putting Cooper Rush into an NFL regular season game right now? They have to get this addressed immediately. So we need to pay attention to maybe some of these quarterback competitions that are a little where they have more guys. Whether it's Baltimore may let go of a Robert Griffin per se. Arizona even has Mike Glennon, who we saw tonight. Josh Rosen on the bench. Like some of these rooms, Teddy Bridgewater. I do think there'll be an opportunity maybe for us to make a play to get a veteran in the room, just so we all have a little bit more peace of mind in case something happens to Dak Prescott. Backup quarterback is an extremely important position in this league. You see the Green Bay Packers even going out and still getting young guys develop even behind Aaron Rodgers. You always have to have people ready to play. And I've been very, very disappointed with how the Cowboys have handled this situation. And because Cooper Rush played so poorly today, it was very difficult to evaluate the rest of the offense. Lance Lenoir, he's not going to make the team. It just is what it is. I don't really have much to say about anybody else. guys that have made mistakes. I saw Huff, or some of these other guys missing holes and letting Logan run for 50-yard touchdowns. I don't look too much into that. I do think this is going to be a good football team. I just think there's going to be some depth issues with secondary and certain levels of the defense, certain levels of the offense. We're going through the Travis Frederick stuff, and even with what we have to replace with the wide receivers. The only other negative is the tight ends. I mean, Blake Jarwin's fumble. I think we had like 6 or 7 turnovers tonight, which is incredible. But the Blake Jarwin fumble, and I don't know why they keep playing games with Rico at this point. Like, I thought Rico had a good day today. I like what I saw from him. I know, yes, he's playing against 2s and 3s, which is frustrating because a game like today would have been perfect to have him get reps against Deion Buchanan, against some of these better safeties, even Antoine Bethea. Just seeing him match up and try to make plays against those guys, try to get open against those guys. Just even allowing him an opportunity to see himself on film against better players so he can see how he can get better. At least he's playing a little bit more. But I mean, I feel that this coaching staff is still trying to pigeonhole him just because he's not there yet as a blocker, and they don't like the fact that if he comes on the field, he's one-dimensional. But you've seen this over and over again with so many other basketball turned tight end guys, whether it's a Julius Thomas, Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, the list goes on. So for them not to have that creativity with Rico Gathers is frustrating to watch. And I'm not there every day in practice. I don't know the blocking assignments he's missing or anything like that. Again, I'm just assessing what I'm seeing in these preseason games. But those are my 2 big negatives, the tight end and the backup quarterback position. Hopefully you guys have seen what I've been trying to, kind of speak on more and more. But we got to get that quarterback room better. We have to. It will help Dak. It will help push Dak. And you always have it. It's also an insurance policy in case anything were ever happen to him. So, with that being said, we'll see if there's anything interesting coming out of Week 4. We'll have some other content. I still need to address the Travis Frederick situation. Very, very serious. I want to get my thoughts out on that as well. But y'all let me know in the comments what anything I missed or that you noticed in tonight's game. Love to discuss as always. Appreciate y'all.